Welcome back to Tarot by the Bay. I'm David. All right, so I was listening to TikTok or something like that, and a clip came on about Kamala Harris being on the Steven Colbert show, and him interviewing her. And she had some really interesting things to say, especially given in light to the reading I did just the other day on her, with her announcement that she wasn't running for the governor of California, as well as the reading my brother and I did on the Twin Channel. Kamala Harris, if you hadn't heard, said she currently has no desire to re-enter the system of America politics because it's broken. She said, recently I made the decision that I just don't want to go back into the system. I think it's broken. And when the audience was not happy, Colbert later returned to the subject because she made a mark that it was harrowing, to which she responded, well, it's also evident, isn't it? She had described herself as a devout public servant, and that she had always believed that, fragile as our democracy is, our systems would be strong enough to defend our most fundamental principles. And I think right now that they're not as strong as they need to be. And for now, I don't want to go back into that system. Colbert invited her to say, I told you so, after she had predicted many of Trump's most contentious moves, including Medicaid cuts, ignoring court orders, and massive tax cuts for the rich. To which Kamala replied, but Stephen, what I did not predict was the capitulation. Perhaps it was naive of me. There should be many who consider themselves to be guardians of our system and of our democracy who just capitulated, and I didn't see that coming. She has a book that's coming out called 107 Days, and it's describing her campaign, the 107 days of her campaign. This to me was the interesting part. Sorry to save it for the end. When she was saying that she didn't want to run, instead what she wanted to do was she wanted to use the near future to travel the country and listen to people. I don't want to be transactional where I'm asking for their vote. And she admitted that it had taken her months following her defeat before she had the strength to tune into the news again. You know, I'm just not into self-mutilation. Instead, there have been lots of cooking shows. And her favorite one was The Kitchen. So in my readings, I was getting a lot of emotional rejection. And I interpreted that as she felt like she was rejected by the voters. And there were a lot of comments saying she wasn't rejected, the election was stolen. I agree with you on this. 150% agree with you on this. And that's underestimating how much I agree with you on this. But it's hard to say. But there was an emotional abandonment that was in there. And I think part of this is as she's, rather than sort of like, oh, they don't love me, she's taken the time to process it, to figure out what that feeling, where it came from. And it's really coming down to, she doesn't like the system, where, you know, you're going around basically begging for votes. She wants the time to hear people, to hear what they want. And as she was saying, I want to hear what they want without asking them for something back in the form of their vote. She wants to hear what they want so she can formulate a plan to deliver what it is that they want in the best, fairest way possible. And she realizes that in this current system, you can't do that. I think she's, when she's saying, you know, there's people who should be protecting this country and its systems, I think she's talking about Democratic leadership and some Republican leadership. But I would guess it's more Democratic leadership. I don't think she's real happy with the power brokers in the DNC. So it was really enlightening to hear that, especially given the cards I had, and to add some more depth to it. I don't think she's being filtered by self-filtering. I think she is really speaking her mind, and she's also speaking from the heart as to what she really wants to do. She didn't rule out running again. She's just not going to run for governor, and she's not planning on running for office anytime soon. That doesn't mean that she couldn't be AG or make a run for president again. But as she said, after the election, it took her a long time to listen to the news because it was going to be too hard. Hearing her name being trashed on either side of the aisle. And I understand what she means by that. Nothing made me more livid than listening to talking heads say how the Democrats blew it, how they ruined their messaging and failed on their messaging, and that the election was frickin' stolen. And if you've seen Libby's today, Dr. Lena sent me the link. Rosie's Insights is talking about it. There is a CIA whistleblower that said there was an NSA report that looked into election interference and found that the election was manipulated, and that it goes beyond just simple manipulation, that it involves corruption and organized crime both in and outside the U.S. Human trafficking, where this one CIA officer was, his specialty was human trafficking, linked into it. So kind of the whole big deep state cabal of wealthy people running shadow governments and human trafficking and stuff like that. Take out the cannibalism. It's actually there. And this NSA report got buried. Why? I don't know. Maybe they feel that our poor democracy can't handle it. Maybe if they revealed it, that there would be civil war. But, you want to burn it all down. So rather than burn it all down, we got to suffer through Trump. And maybe they felt that Trump would alienate enough people that when they do reveal it, they're much more willing to accept it. That could be. How many MAGA folks do you think right now would not be nearly as angry to find out that a lot of folks in Congress don't deserve to be there and that the election was rigged and stolen? They may not be happy about it. Some definitely are going to deny it, but others are going to be like, you know what? That guy lied to us and he screwed me over. So if he's gone, I'm not going to cry too many tears over it. Just get these pressures off of me. All right, I want to read back on Kamala Harris, though. Now, having heard the Steven Colbert interview, I want to look at the energy around her as it relates to the next few months or years of her life. She talks about wanting to talk with people and find out what they want. Let's see if that's how that's going to work out, okay? So again, this is for entertainment purposes only. I'm throwing tarot cards, reading on energy, and trying to interpret the best I can. Sometimes I'm right, sometimes I'm wrong, sometimes I close, sometimes maybe not so much. But it's for entertainment. Foundation of the reading, Knight of Pentacles. I like it. Foundation of the reading is somebody going forward. This could be patient. The tried and true knight going forward. This is not the mercenary now. This is the person going forward with their values and trying to reach out to talk with people. Underneath it all is the High Priestess, trying to understand what it is that the people want, take what they give you, and then do with it the best that you can. What's going to be the challenge with this? The Chariot. The problem is, while you're doing this, the government is grinding forward, or more to the point, the government's wildly out of control. So while this is a patient, systematic knight, the system that you're trying to get information on is off the rails. In the past, the Seven of Swords, almost as if something was stolen from somebody. Something stolen, something taken illegally, illicitly, dark secrets that stole things, causing this person to now have to go out and get information while the Chariot is careening out of control. Current situation, Ace of Pentacles. There's a new push to understand people's values. She does not want to repeat. This gate is about repetition. She does not want to repeat the mistakes of the past. And by mistakes, I don't mean mistakes that she made. She's talking about the system being broken. She doesn't want to repeat the same thing and get the same result. She wants to fix that system, but she wants to, if you want to believe this, she wants to come across as even more authentic. I don't think many people watching this video, at least on my channel anyways, found her to be a non-authentic or an unauthentic person. I think that's one of the things we really liked about her, was that she seemed to be truly authentic. And whereas before she was going forward, nodding her head, listening to people, but there's an expectation of a vote. Now there's this, I'm not asking you for anything. Tell me what it is you want. She's commented about how she's been in public service basically her whole adult life. And she wants to continue that, although she's taking a break from it right now. It's like she's recalibrating and resetting herself with this. She's taking that break, if nothing else, for her own health. Overarching energy is the Sun card. She's going to find out what people want. She's looking to uncover what they want. And remember, her whole spiel, her common message, we're not going backwards, we're going forwards, and everything's going to be all right. Everything's going to, there was joy and good times coming. She still intends to do that. Lesson to be learned, 3 of Wands. She's actually preparing for something in the future. I didn't realize she said she wasn't going to run for the governor of California. She's not asking for any votes. But this is absolutely setting herself up for future action, whatever that future action might be. Outcome is the King of Pentacles. Interesting. One clarifier on it. I think I know where I'm going with this. This is going to be the big money in the DNC. Oh, yeah. Okay. Not what I was expecting. I think she's trying to get the attention of the donors again. But in this case, it's like you can see where, as Jasmine Crockett said, the donors are going to want to elect the safest white boy they possibly could. Because that's what they do when they run in fear. She wants to show them that, this is not... You don't have to be scared of Kamala. She's not an albatross. She doesn't have a millstone around her neck. She will be successful in it. Right now, you have to sort of change the money in the opinion that the money has on it. What's going to be the biggest challenge that she faces as she does her tour? Call it a tour of the country, as she tries to tap in. And I think that's what it is. She's trying to tap into the pulse of the people of the United States. Not just, in San Francisco or Los Angeles, but probably in the center part of the country, the southern part of the country, the rural areas, the urban areas. It's like she's campaigning for president, but she's got a multi-year head start and she hasn't announced a campaign. You can almost think of it as like, I'm wondering if she'll do something like the Bernie AOC town hall type thing. But let's see. I don't think it's anything that formal, though. What's her biggest challenge that she's coming across here? Got 4-carder for this one. The lies of the Republicans. How the Republicans are one big happy family. Are you better off than you were 4 years ago? You've got this illusion that's being sold that people are better off under Donald Trump. That's what she has to overcome. And not only that, I think it's the uniting of the United States, because right now it's very divisive. People are fighting. There's a downfall coming on, crashing. People's concerned about their values and losing things losing their benefits, losing money, losing their jobs. And the Two of Wands. Okay, maybe her biggest challenge is, okay, I'm going to come back here. What's her biggest challenge is finding the message of what makes everybody happy. So it's kind of like the finding the core values that everybody shares, that makes them feel like they have hope for a future. And that's what she's out there looking for. Right now, that hope for the future is under assault with the Tower card. The GOP are, if you're like an extremely wealthy person, you're going to love what the GOP's doing. Pretty much for everybody else, this is going to be a disaster, even if they don't realize it yet. People are fighting, they disagree, tensions are up, and values are down. You voted for a 34-time convicted felon and an adjudicated sex offender for your president, who it was showing obvious signs of mental decline. And you know what you got? You got exactly all that. And you thought that was going to make you happy? Yeah. As much as I'm grumping about it, and as much as I don't like it, perhaps Trump was the best thing that could happen at this time. And I say that grudgingly because it's kind of like you have to break the spell of folks who are listening to his hypnotic tones, which I guess it's not hypnotic, it's grating. Tells them what they want to hear and makes them feel special, as the con man does. And now they're going to get to see how he's shortchanging them every way, shape, and form. It's just so annoying that they don't have the foresight to see this. They literally have to pee on the electric fence, get shocked, and then stop blaming the Democrats for them getting zapped when they pee on the electric fence. And some of them feel the need to pee on it multiple times. That's the part I don't get. For Carter, future of Kamala Harris as she does this. Well, I guess that was the challenges. What are the benefits? Let's ask that. What are going to be the benefits of her tour here as she tries to tap into the desires and the values of the American people? Nine of Wands. Looking at the next steps. Once you gather the information, you have to do something with it. How do you put this all together? What are the next steps with this? The nostalgia. No, she talked about naivety. On low energies, it's the naivety card. But it's also nostalgia. Right now, as she goes, she's not off asking them for anything in return. She's just asking them, what's going to make you happy? Doing that, she's going to tap into what makes the best of America. The inclusions as opposed to the exclusion. It's going to give her an opportunity to go forward and offer something to a wide group of people. And here we go again with the Knight of Pentacles. As she goes forward, she's got to listen. She's got to hear a lot of stuff. And some of it's going to be stuff she doesn't want to hear. But in order for the U.S. to be the best you can, you have to embrace, acknowledge or embrace what happened in the past, but also go forward into the future. You have to make, for conservatives, they're terrified of the future. They want the good old days. The good old days are a known quantity. The future's scary. The future, they don't know what the future holds. It can be scary. With the Star card, you show them the future's going to be okay, and I'll be here to make sure it's okay. It's like you have to hold their hand through it. And I don't mean that in a patronizing way, but it's kind of in a spiritual way. That's why they like strong leaders. The strong leaders like, take my hand, I will lead you through here, bravely with their torch out and they're holding your hands like, I'm going to lead the way. The problem is the current leadership isn't like that at all. They just like telling scary ghost stories around the campfire. All right, Spirit, let's wrap it up. Anything you would like to share about Kamala's future plans here with my audience? Another little 4-card. No, let's do a 7-card. Let's give them a big message, shall we? Okay, rapid fire. What do you want to share with Kamala for my audience coming in the upcoming future here? King of Cups, emotionally mature, and information being revealed. Chariot going forward. This was my Biden card. I said I wasn't going to overthink it. We have emotional maturity to understand. It's almost like she learned from Biden on how to proceed forward, reaching out to people. In the past, things were coming quickly, messaging. Now we've got time to listen, incorporate, detox. This is kind of like what she learned from Biden. But I think it's one of the things she really learned from Biden was how to work the system. Biden was a senator for decades. She learned a lot about politics from him on how to get both sides to agree, how to lead in a benevolent fashion as opposed to the pantsless dictator that we currently have now. Reaching out, offering a cup of friendship. There's enough for everybody to drink from here. And the outcome is the 5 of Wands. Dealing with the energy, dealing with the resistance. She will meet resistance. She will meet resistance. Why? Because she's a black woman with a name that looks hard to pronounce. And she's been vilified by folks on the right. She has to overcome their prejudices. They have to see her as a strong leader as opposed to somebody who's going to punish them for crappy behavior that they've had in the past. Again, that's why they're scared. But, and I think what that is, that the wands there, that could be her jumping back in the fray. When she's got all that down, she jumps back into the fray. And she's stronger for it because she now has a North Star with which to guide herself, to navigate through the fray and not be distracted or taken down by it, because she knows where she wants to go. And she's going to walk to where she wants to go or drive forward to where she wants to go. It's kind of, this was a message I believe that like Susan Lin and others were putting out there over the summer, is that when we thought she was going to get in the office, is that there were going to be all sorts of distractions trying to prevent her from attaining the goals that she wants. And that's why, she just, you don't look back. You don't go back. You go forward. When she's recharged and ready, she's ready to jump in that fray and move forward. And the fray around her is not going to distract her. She's just going to leave it behind her. It's the same thing. It's just that it's been delayed. I think the bigger difference is that the resistance will be less. The people will be ready to hear her this time. They weren't going to hear her before because they're in a cult. They're under the spell of somebody with his accordion of hypnotic falsehoods. Once that's broken, she stands a chance. Thank you very much for watching this video and supporting my channel. I appreciate it. This reading is for entertainment purposes only, but I hope you found it insightful, and I'll catch you on the next video. Take care.